It's the 8th of September 2025. Summer has ended, the light is fading, flowers are fading, but blackberries and common ivy flowers are coming into their best at the moment, and butterflies are taken to the hedgerows to feed on this bounty. So I'm going to take you along a hedgerow containing flowering ivy and bramble. And we have two red admiral here on common ivy. And they're quite skittish, so I'm having to be very careful in my approach. I'm going to move on and see what's ahead, because there's a particularly dense growth of flowering ivy here, and year after year I'm getting plenty of butterflies on them, even in bad years like last year. And here's a lovely red admiral here. And there's another one over here. And it's wonderful to see them fluttering around in the autumn sunshine. Been an excellent year for red admiral, and that heavy rain we had in mid-July nourished the nettles and has enabled the red admirals to grow and develop really successfully. Moving along. And obviously there are hoverflies, bumblebees and wasps taking advantage of this autumn bonanza too, as that red admiral. And the red admirals are not alone. They're joined by small tortoiseshell and painted lady. So here we have our tortoiseshell and painted lady in here in this sheltered little nook. And this ivy here is south facing, so it's benefiting from the warmth of the sun coming from the south. It's also quite sheltered. And just looking up here, we have bramble as well. We have blackberries in bloom. Not in bloom, we have some in bloom, or going to come into bloom, late blooms. We have the fruit too, and this will also sustain butterflies and other insects. In fact, there's a red admiral, this red admiral over here was just feeding on blackberries, and he's moved now onto the ivy. He's actually basking at the moment. And earlier on here I saw a male comma also on the ivy, so it's sustaining red admiral, painted lady, small tortoiseshell and comma. So never look down or look askance at ivy, especially flowering ivy. Give it the chance to flower. And another butterfly that would be very glad you did is the holly blue, which, despite its name, breeds on ivy at this time of the year. The female lays her eggs on the flower buds so the caterpillars can feed on ivy berries. And just a spot of indulgence here. The red admirals look particularly beautiful this year. They are really, really spectacular in their numbers, and also there's some really large specimens too. Here's our painted lady. Less numerous than the red admirals, but it's been a decent year for painted lady. In 2025 we've had a decent population, really large population in mid-August. Most of them have disappeared by now, but the red admirals are really numerous this September and during August as well. And people were remarking on how large they look. They were so well fed by our lush nettles. So